Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'd be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule, okay? So let's have an empty cup when we're on Lady Noble's channel. We really want to see what's up. Okay. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting off with positive thinking, okay? So there's a need for you to remain in positive thinking at this time, collective positive energy. Maybe you feel you have not been feeling your best or feeling like something is going to work out for you or go the way you assumed or thought it would, the outcome would be. Maybe you could be nervous or anxious. And really, at this time, Spirit is saying that you are undergoing a shift in your life, a spiritual shift. You know, the world is constantly changing and shifting in its own time from moment to moment, planetary speaking, okay, when it comes to astrology. But keep in mind, that your mood and your emotions, as well as your spirit can become sometimes disheveled, or you may feel like you're out of place or not like your normal self. So just be willing to be patient with yourself. And before you react, for you to pause, okay? And so I'm picking up there could be someone maybe trying to trigger you, maybe trying to make you upset. Maybe this is someone in your personal life that you know. This could be someone in a community, someone on your job, or maybe it could be your children. I don't know. Maybe, they're getting on your nerves, but either way, Spirit wants you to work out of the vibration and the frequency of love. And know that whenever you feel that something is trying to trigger you or someone is trying to provoke you, that the mere fact that you have the keys to what it is, they want you to use that to inspire you to hold your peace within yourself. And so this is not about, proving a point to anyone. This is about, practicing self-preservation and making sure that you don't go from 0 to 100 real quick, and it's really not worth it. At this time, they're telling me to remain with this card held up. That's why it's still there. But at this time, really in life, period, there are moments and there are people who are unable to cope and deal with the many changes that are occurring in the world, especially now, okay? So there may be people around you who are unable to deal with or cope with the changes that are taking place around them. And so when a person is in fear, they are likely to lash out. When a person is working out of their shadow side, they're on a lower vibration. As I did a reading, I believe yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was speaking of, and I said, when a person loves their self, when a person really love themselves, or what frequency they're on, and you can tell if they have a life. And when I say have a life, meaning they have something of value that they feel is worth living. They have something going on in their personal life that they're not willing to sabotage or take any chances on possibly ruining what they have going on. So you can tell, when a person is happy or or what frequency they are on for that matter. So you could have someone possibly be mindful with this positive thinking here, and negative thinking at the bottom. You could have someone or people or a person, Spirit is saying, around you whom they may be in negative thinking. They may be affecting your positive thinking. They're acting out of their lower region. You could be the one seeing the cup half full, even on not your best days. You could be that friend or that family member that's like, hey, all right, we got peanut butter and jelly. We still gonna eat, okay? That kind of energy. So be mindful that the people that you are possibly hanging around, And I'm picking up someone who you are around constantly, and there's butterflies in this picture. They are unable, as I was speaking of change, they are unable to deal, these are butterflies here, with the changes that are happening worldwide. There are a lot of people who are unable to cope. And so when people are in fear, insecure, in fear, low vibrational, they don't feel like their life is worth living. These are the people who project negative energy, and these are the people who are likely to act out. And so these are events that you may see a person maybe initiate an argument, a confrontation. You may see or witness someone projecting negative energy, and you're like, wow, that wasn't cool. That was unnecessary. You may see a person just act very immature. Okay. And so Spirit is saying these are people who are unable to accept or be in agreement with going through a transformation in their life at this time. Their life is requiring, there's someone around you, their life is requiring change, and they are in resistance. And so rather than dealing with what their problem is, what they're doing, they're taking their anger and hostility and they're projecting it outward. So these are people, like I said, who are the troublemakers, the toxic people, the troublemakers, the toxic people, the people who are gossiping. That person, maybe when you're having a conversation, you're speaking positive, they're likely to have outbursts or just say things that are just foolish and infantile. So that's what it is. So Spirit wants you to take inventory. There's something about there's a need to take inventory in your life as you move forward. And when you come across these kind of energies, Spirit is saying there's no need to try to check them on who they are, because it would only turn into a confrontation. If a person is not interested in transforming their life or being positive, or they're always negative, they're not trying to have a conversation. They're not trying to listen. They really don't want to hear it. So Spirit is saying simply, as I always say, is you have to just simply remove yourself and allow people to be who they are, and let them waddle in their own energy. And the reason that I always say that and refer that to the collective is simply walk away and remove yourself, because you want to get into the habit of leaving these negative low vibrational beings with their own energy. If you choose to try to always, oh, I need to have a conversation, oh, I need to say something, well, you already know you're not on the same frequency. You already know there's no like-minded energy. So it's just going to be one word leading to another, and no one is going to hear each other. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And Spirit wants you to leave them with their energy instead of allowing it to taint yours. Okay. So, yeah, that was a lot. But yeah, so that's what it is. Spirit is saying be aware, male or female. Doesn't matter whether it's in your community, on your job, at your church, in your family. There are people, they're not going to speak about it. They're not going to reveal to you and come to you and say, oh, I'm afraid there's so much going on in my life right now. No, these are the people who hold a poker face. This could even be, that bragaboo aunt or uncle who act like they got it like that. But now there's changes going on in the economy, and they're known for living this way or looking this way or having a certain persona about themselves. And the fact that things are changing for everybody worldwide, doesn't matter what your tax bracket is, it's also requiring them. The shift and the change is trickling down and around to each and every person in the world. Okay, this is someone who's likely to put on a brave face, and actually they're shook off in the inside. And so, yeah, you may notice this person, like I said, they could be moody, nasty, toxic, just a shit starter, very gossipy, slandering other people. Yeah, Spirit is saying these negative people are pulling on your energy simply by you just being around them. When you are a light worker, or someone simply, or I don't even have to say light worker, someone who likes to see the glass half full, and you're around others who oppose that energy, well, there's going to be some friction. There's going to be some friction. Even though your intentions are pure, it doesn't mean that other people are thinking like you. It doesn't mean that they want to see things the way you want to see it. It doesn't mean they want to feel what you are feeling. There are people I know it sounds weird, who actually find comfort in being in chaos. There are people who find comfort in being someone's flunky or having low self-esteem. They're not interested in coming out of that energy. That's for somebody that needs to hear that. Maybe there's someone around you who feels like they are used, that they're not important. They don't feel valuable. And this is not about aesthetics or really material. This person doesn't feel it on the inside. I mean, look at this depiction, the eyes. Look how she, holds the bubble there. This person doesn't feel it on the inside. And it's really not anything that anyone is doing to him or her. This is how they feel when they look in the mirror. Some people can look in the mirror and smile at what they see, but this is how they feel on the inside. So, as I was just saying, Spirit is saying, be mindful. The ones that you see, just keeping the poker face and those people, not all, but there's a large number of people who are really, truly pump faking. They are pretending. They are not happy. They are not at peace. They're shooketh. They're shaky, baby, on the inside. And I'm not saying that to poke fun at anyone. It's just the truth of what's going on. It's not just about a EBT card not be working right now. It's not just about the price of chicken or tissue or gasoline right now. There's a whole lot of different things going on, spiritually speaking, on many levels, okay, that are causing people to feel disheveled. And rather than address the issue, there are people who are ignoring the judgment call that is being sound in their life, the things that they know they need to pay attention to, okay? And some of these people are aware and some of them aren't, okay? But at the same token, the ones who aren't, if you were to say, hey, I know what that is, they still just may not be interested. So that's why confirmation with the train horn, it's very important to constantly pull yourself away from people who are constantly negative. Do not check nobody on how they are. Let them be how they are. Let them be as comfortable as they want to be. We have the star energy here. These are people who are unable to see the light. They do not want to see the light. They are so accustomed to darkness that they are on a mission working for the other side. And what that other side may be, baby, look, that's a whole nother video there. But don't allow these things to disturb you or get you upset. Another thing Spirit is saying, be aware. Emotions are very heightened. So when you are out in public, especially if you have a large family, this is someone with a large family, or someone who has a friend or a family member who's very energetic for whatever reason. And when I say energetic, I'm saying energetic in a positive way, like always like to have fun, laugh, maybe bounce around. Live your life. Be free. There's nothing to stress about. This is not to project fear, but this is to just a spiritual nudge. Spirit is saying be mindful because the energy is heightened. People are emotionally distraught, and there are people who are in a panic. Okay, there are people in a panic. Some of us trust and know that joy cometh. In the middle of the night. Late in the midnight hour, things can really turn around, but not all of us feel this way. Not all of us have, our faith is different. Our level of faith is different. Our tenacity is different within us. Be mindful. Spirit is saying when you're in public, I'm seeing someone out to dinner or like in a store shopping. Just be mindful. Everyone, you may be in a good mood, but everyone's not in a good mood. There's a lot of energy roaming about within human beings that is very uptight, grouchy. Yeah, and I'm hearing combative. Oh wow. So just be mindful, you can keep a smile in your face. You can be happy and be in a good mood. Stay in the energy of love, okay? But just be mindful that everyone isn't in that mood. I'm seeing something about like a verbal confrontation taking place because maybe you crack a joke, you're out in public, and the person you're talking to, they take offense, it's not funny to them, you kiki, you ha ha, and they ready to like, let's fight, they want to get physical. So just be mindful, especially if you have a lot of young teenagers in your family, or you link up, maybe you link up with your nieces and nephews and you hang out. Just be mindful, and maybe you want to have this conversation that, you don't have to hide your joy. That's not what this message is, or hide your happiness. But be mindful that there are some unhappy people out there, and there are some people who are frantic right now, and the energy is very heightened. So yeah, yeah. So just be mindful. Have your joy, but just joke with people. Joke with people in the joy circle. Joke with people in your joy circle, and that's the people whom you're with. If you link up and you go catch a movie, maybe with your family, joke with the family. Okay. And I know you're like, what? I'm used to talking to people well, at this time, the spirit is saying, you don't have to be in fear, but everyone is not in a good mood. And there's something I'm seeing an altercation break out just from someone saying a joke, like, and the person getting offended at what was said. So, yeah, So, like, we got the Page of Wands here, okay? So, the Page of Wands, this is determination, this is excitement and joy. And so I'm picking up, collective, this is your energy as we started off, that positive energy. So this reading is about, being in a good state of mind, having peace in your heart, no matter what you're hearing or what you're seeing, but you're not allowing it to dim your light. And spirit doesn't want you changing who you are. Be you, focus on you, and only entangle with people who talk to the joy group. Like I said, talk to your family, or your circle of friends. Okay. So, because this is determination, this is excitement. And so you could have some things going on for you that makes you want to jump for joy and throw the wand in the air, and celebrate. But someone else may be sad, and, they could be not sharing it, spirit is saying. So it could be some energy where they're pretending, or they're either covering up, because I'm also picking up there's someone who has a certain persona or image. This is something that they have made up and they have chosen to create and carry in their own life. Maybe they like to dress a certain way. Maybe they live in a certain neighborhood. They're accustomed to driving certain cars, and they're having to make some changes. I'm not seeing this person be homeless. I'm not seeing them be without, but this person is going into depression because they're having to make some changes. Isn't that ironic? Not because they're without, they don't want to downgrade the vehicle a year or two. This is like someone having maybe 4 cars in their driveway and they're angry because now they got 2. This is that kind of energy. So, yeah, there's a lot of different energies of people just being very frustrated and angry because with the butterflies here, as I said, they're not willing to. This represents transformation. They don't, and it also has a bubble right here that she's holding. They don't want to come out of that bubble and go through this transformation. There are people who actually feel, collective, that everything is supposed to stay the same their entire life. There are actually people who feel that way. Nothing. They feel like nothing's supposed to change. Everything and everybody supposed to be one way for the rest of their life and never ever change. People, places, and things. There are people who actually think that way. So when it comes to making adjustments, they're not willing to adjust. And so, yeah, so we have the Four of Pentacles here. So this person, like I said, they have to make some adjustments. But the positive thing I'm seeing is not that they're without. They just have to, maybe, they can't. A good example of this is, okay, maybe they go to the hair salon 4 days a week, 3 days a week, okay, because they just don't like doing their hair. Like, real talk. 4 days or 3 days a week. There are people who really do that. And now they can only go every other week or once a week, and they're angry about it. And this will be that person with the poker face. Now, there's other people in the world who may be looking for a job, looking for a home, going through other things that are more stressful. But this person is simply angry over something simple like, I'm used to going to the hair salon 4 days a week and I can no longer do it. Oh my. This is the kind of person you look at and be like, are you serious? I thought you really had something going on there. Is that why you have a tight lip? So you have nothing to do with that. As I pointed out the bubble and butterflies in this picture, I hope you've seen that there. Spirit is saying for you to stay in your positive bubble. Do not allow these distorted, low vibrational people who carry this energy to burst your bubble of joy. Continue to live life. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone. Continue to live life and love who you are inside and out. Period. Period, 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 period. Okay. And so we have here the Page of Pentacles here. Okay. Yes, it's all about balance. Balance, balance, balance. Being determined to receive your new opportunity. So, in order to stay in that energy of determination and to receive that opportunity, there is some consistency that is required. So, this could be many things, whether it's money, a job, a house, a car, a family, getting married, starting a business. This could be so many things. Expanding your business. You could already be an entrepreneur. This could be losing weight, building muscle. This could be anything. There's some kind of consistency that is necessary and required. And one of them is keeping your vibration high. Because there will be people who will come try to test your pimping. They want you to be upset, collective. They want you to be, angry because they are angry. You don't have to hide your joy. You don't have to hide your smile. Just make sure that when you do choose to have conversations or crack those jokes, because I like to crack jokes and talk smack too, but be mindful because there are some people out there who are just not happy. Okay? Yeah. And so the next card we have here is the beautiful Eight of Wands. And this is information coming into you, such as this read here. This information, this is a confirmation giving you just insight. I'm not going to say a warning, but just insight, just to be mindful, but don't stop living. Don't stop being happy. If you have a moment to celebrate, go ahead and celebrate, but just be mindful. Throughout history, the world has endured and embrace many of harsh and cruel situations. We could probably have a 365-day marathon where we never turn off the camera and everybody just get on and just tell their story of what they've seen, what they've witnessed, things they've endured. And I'm pretty sure we all would have something of value or interesting or impactful to share with each other. But Spirit is saying this is really a powerful time to reflect on all the times in your life that you have overcame any event that you felt was impactful or hard for you. Any event, whether it was a loss, a gain, or a major change, and just reflect on how you overcame and how proud you were of yourself. And, when you get into those moments, if you are someone watching and you get into those moments where you're not feeling your best or you're over worried and concerned, there's nothing you can do but what you can do. I started the reading off and I said, if we got peanut butter and jelly, well, we eating, baby. So then you surrender the rest. You stay positive. You stay grateful for the peanut butter and jelly. Number one, you don't complain, and something can change. You never know where your goal lies in this life. That's the fun fact. That's what I've learned, and I'm pretty sure many others have also. So you have to really tread lightly. You have to really be mindful of your words, of your thoughts, and of your projections. You want to invest. If you're into self-investment, you want to be mindful of what you're putting out there. Because in these times, if you're dealing with something and you're overly concerned and you're stressed out when it comes to maybe your finances or providing in any kind of way, if you're someone who has been, investing your energy in the right place in your life, and I'm not talking about finances, I'm talking about just doing the best you can. Just doing the best you can. I'm not talking about money right now. I'm not talking about currency because, see, your currency is actually your time, and money is just energy. That's all it is. If you've been investing, doing the best you can, and not projecting negative energy, not running around running amok and scamming people and taking advantage and hurting and harming people, and you have that spiritual connection. And I'm not talking about being perfect, but you have that spiritual connection and you take time to fine tune that energy, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine because you have invested. You've made an investment. So there's going to be a return. You've made an investment. There's a major spiritual shift going on at this time. And what we have to do is hurry up and just wait, whether we like it or not. We have to hurry up and wait. That's what it is. And that's for someone who needs to hear it, who may not be feeling their best. You have to remain optimistic, straight up, and do whatever you need to do to keep your feet dancing, to keep yourself dancing and moving and grooving, and to keep that fire burning. You have to do whatever needs to be done. Okay, so that's just in case that, cross watcher is watching and you're that person who's not in that positive thinking, but back to the read collective, be mindful. You are someone who is positive. You are someone who sees the cup half full. You are someone who have been investing. You've been doing the best you can. You have not been trying to build and create through the process of stepping on other people. You have not been out here ripping people off or taking from people. So it's going to be okay. You can only do what you can and surrender the rest. But there's something about making sure that you don't allow yourself to go into that dark place, that because it wouldn't be feasible and that's not your energy, and you want to keep the vibration high. You want to receive, you want to receive from your investment, from all that you have been enduring, what you have been doing to maintain for you and your family through the months, the weeks, the years, the days, the sacrifices you have made, the overtime you have worked on your job, whatever you've had to do to survive and thrive for you and your family. Be mindful. Don't allow a temporary moment of a test to get you in some situations or a situation that you may not be able to get out of or you may regret. That's where somebody needs to hear that. Don't allow anyone collective to come near you or to you trying to motivate you to do something that can possibly get you incarcerated or get you with a felony or a record. That's for somebody that needs to hear it, or having you on the run and paranoid. Your record is already clean, baby. Leave it that way. Be mindful of hanging around people who have this kind of energy, who have this kind of sticky finger nature, who, want to always go and turn up and mess up and, destroy and be destructive. Be mindful. Hold your peace about yourself. Don't be so anxious. Hold your peace. Don't be so anxious. Don't allow, because there's a strong energy here of someone trying to persuade someone to go and do something. Persuade you to go do something that is not you, is not part of you, it's not who you are. You don't have to, I was about to say tell them you trust in God, but you don't have to tell them you trust in God. You can show them by just not participating in whatever they're trying to persuade you to do, male or female. Maybe somebody's already asked you to do this and you told them no, and they're steady trying to talk you into it, trying to tell you how much money you can get or what the profit gonna be. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No one wants to speak to you over JPay. No. Nobody wants to write you. Don't do it. That's for somebody. Okay, so keep your spiritual connection. I love the Queen of Cups here. You've been investing. This is you. This is all the times you have invested. You've been trusting in God, the same God. Okay, Ty Tribbett, once again. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words. Same God. Yeah, same God. The same one who blessed you last year, last week, or that last time that you went through that hardship, whether the lights was out, the water was off, the car got repossessed, there was no food, whatever was going on. Real talk. The mortgage didn't get paid. It almost didn't get paid. You scrapped that money up. You had to go pawn something. Let's talk about it. All are welcome on this channel. Doesn't matter what your belief system are, okay? Are, yeah, or is. But yes, you know, with this Queen of Cups here, make sure that your spiritual connection stays fine tuned. Do not allow this person to come and speak to you and get you all worked up and trying to persuade you to do things it's just not who you are. Whatever this is they're trying to get you to do, this is not who you are. And this person know it. This person could already have a lot of issues and be on the run. They want you to be in the boat with them. They want you to be in the same boat with them. You got to be careful, collective. People will persuade you to do things because they see your energy is of light. They see this. There's a nice person right there. Let me see, can I attach myself and go create some ruckus in their world? Say you haven't caught a case, huh? Maybe I can persuade you to catch one. See what it feels like paying restitution. Yeah. 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 Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Look at spirit as I say protect yourself. See how she's in that spirit? And they like, hey, look over here. She like, She like, nam kyo. No. She like, no. They like, hey, come over here. Come on. I got to hustle for you. You want to make some money? No. Yeah, don't let nobody interrupt your moment of rest and peace. This is temporary. This too will pass. It has to pass. We're constantly in evolution, and metamorphoses are taking place constantly inside and outside on many levels. Nothing lasts forever. Spirit wants you to be in this energy of resting. Clearly, resting. Resting and rejuvenating. And then making sure that you're staying in connection, in tune. Okay? This is the time to rely more on the spiritual than the physical, collective. This is the time. Now, you have free will to believe in whatever your belief system is. There is no judgment here. That is none of my business, nor am I trying to persuade anyone. But I just want to say you don't have to choose only one day or moment of the week. You can exercise your belief system whenever you need to tap in. This is the time to exercise it. This is the time to get in your word. This is the time to exercise your faith. This is the time to break out the mustard seed. This is the time, if it's prayer for you, do that. If it's meditation, do that. If it's chanting, do that. If it's cleansing, decluttering, do that. If it's that certain music you listen to that make you want to get up and feel good and dance, you can do that. There are people who get up and dance every day. It's a ritual for them. A ritual. A ritual is anything that you do in habit with repetition, like brushing your teeth. It's a ritual. Like boiling black eyed peas on New Year's. That's a what? A ritual. Yeah. And the holidays we celebrate, the hula days we celebrate is okay, I'll move on. But continue to stand on the stage, continue to allow the light to shine on you. Continue. Because this too will pass, and you want to be the one standing and receiving your applause and letting the light shine on you. You do not want anyone saying, oh, the collective on the run. They hiding right now. You don't want nobody, you MIA. You know where to be found because you went with Pookie and Ray Ray and them because they said they knew a hustle when they can help you out. They said they knew this. They said they knew that. No. Protect yourself. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your family, collective. Protect your peace and protect your family. That's what this reading is. That's what this message is. Wow. Now, I didn't even know it was going here. I didn't even. You can try grabbing some cards and saying you about to talk about this and that. Yeah, try telling God your plans. If you're a reader, you know. Try telling God your plans. No, 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 no. No. Oh, Ashe, Ashe. Woo. My. The Ace of Wands. Manifestation. Making sure that you are able to attain those manifestations, making sure that you are able to receive them. So you got to stay out of trouble. See, that's what this is about. Nope, I got to hold it up again. That's what this is about. You can't allow anyone to persuade you. Hope you can see that. Hold on, I'm blocking the light there. But you can't allow anyone to persuade you, male or female. You got to hold tight. You got to hold tight. Okay? You got to hold tight. Whatever it is, this could be anything. And it don't have to be food supply. It could be many things, okay? I just mentioned that because that's what's in the media, all right? And I hear people talking about it. So spirit, want that message to be conveyed that way. That's why I said those things. Not because I wanted to say it. Spirit, the divine, wants somebody to know, to be encouraged. And don't let nobody talk you into no mess. And this negative energy you feeling is not you, it's the people around you. Yeah. You never know where your goal lies. You never know who could be a blessing to you in your life. Or give you advice or information or a helping hand. Or connect you to resources. That's what somebody who needs to hear that. It can come out of nowhere from a total stranger. You could get up and say, you know what, I'm going to go for me a walk. You could be sitting around the house and say, you know what, I want some fresh air. I'm about to go cut me a couple of blocks. And run into somebody and start talking, and one word leads to another, and y'all exchanging jewels. I call it exchanging jewels. Giving each other information to help each other. You just never know. You have to be optimistic like that. You have to be. It's a must. You don't have to be, but yeah, you have to be. Yes. Judgment. I just said there are people who cannot deal with the changes of the world and the economy. But it's not the world and the economy. What's as above, so below, as within, so without. Whatever is going on the outside around us is going on the inside. There's also massive changes happening on the inside of all of us, not just you. I'm speaking to myself as I talk to you. Every time I give a reading, I'm also talking to myself. That's why I'm careful with what I say. I got to be careful what I say. I don't know what nobody else do. I'm not going to just sit up here and make up some ish. No, 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 no. But this is what it is. They're watching and listening to the news, to the media. Nothing wrong with that. Listen to the news. Listen to the media. There's nothing wrong with it. And then on top of that, you're hearing the conversations. If you're in a doctor office, if you're in line at the store, anywhere you go, people are talking about, what they want to talk about. So a person who is not interested in changing because they're running from developing their true self, they know nothing but to project how they feel. There's a lot of people amongst you, collective, who are in fear. And the fact that you may be someone at this time who's a positive thinker, whether they know you personally or not, they are afraid even more. It scares them. It scares them because spiritually speaking, this is the great divide. Okay, amen. I heard somebody say amen, amen. Okay. Okay. They're afraid, baby. This is real. This is real. You think a person is oblivious and not paying attention and oh, they still turning up. They still this. No, they not. Folks is scared. They're afraid. They see the changes that are happening. But they also feel what they are seeing. They feel what they are seeing, collective. And when you are spiritually disheveled and you're not interested, as well as you have no encouragement around you, that can be a tough time. That could really put you in a fog. I have to watch what I say. So I would do that a lot. I have to watch what I say. So I gotta dig for words. Whew. Child. Folks are scared. You remember Y2K. I'm telling you. You got to really be about this. You got to really be about this life. Spiritually speaking, you just really got to be about this life. That's all I can say. I'm being told don't say nothing else. You got to really be about this and you cannot play. This is not a game. Well, it is a game, but you just got to be about it. You just got to play the game well, play to win. Breathe deep and relax. If you want to, be in the flow, I'm seeing like a kite, flowing in the wind. That kite is shifting. The kite is shifting to wherever the wind is blowing. There is no resistance. The kite realizes like a kite that the kid flies. And I mentioned kite because I see the string on the star card. There is no resistance. The kite is like, okay, I'm in the air is in control. I must be, within the flow. I must go with the flow. So if there's something that is keeping you from being in the flow of change, Spirit is saying that is the one thing that needs to be worked on. The one thing. It's not a lot of things. Spirit says start with one thing, and only you know what that is. No one can tell you how you feel or what it is you need to change in your life that doesn't make you happy. But just imagine, being in resistance. You're a kite and you don't want to fly in the air because you don't like the way you don't like air. Well, how you gonna be a kite? How can anybody fly you if you don't like air? That's the analogy I got. Like that don't even make sense. How you gonna be butter and say you don't like bread? Like I can go all day. How you gonna be a sock and say you don't like feet? I can go all day. Okay. How you gonna be money and you don't want to go in the wallet? How you expect to exist and not ever want to change, and you are in a dimension and on planet Earth, you're here on Mother Gaia that's always going through changes repeatedly your entire life, and you expect to exist here and be happy and never change nothing? You greedy. You greedy. Spirit said you greedy. And that's selfish. No name calling. That is selfish and greedy. And it doesn't make sense. And then sometimes it won't bring dollars being like that. Like, I see everything is changing, but I ain't about to change. Wait a minute. You trying to box with God and nature? Wait a minute. Some really big fists. Now, I know I got some hands on me, but wait a minute. What kind of fists are you fighting with, ma'am or sir? Gee. Okay. I'm gonna get off this read. I'm gonna get because I have a pure comedic mindset. I am out of my miracle whip at this point. The Nine of Cups. That is comfort. That is stability. That is joy. That is prosperity. That is being an energy to celebrate. Look, jumping for joy. So, make sure you're maintaining your peace, your frequency, your vibration. Do not allow people to get you upset, no matter what you hear or see. Stay still. Just observe. Just observe. Don't look too long because really, maybe 99.99% of what you're looking at probably ain't real anyway. But yeah, don't look too long. Just observe, don't respond. Stay grounded. This too will pass. It has to. Things are constantly changing. That's what that reading is about. I just said why. It will pass. Things have been changing your entire life. Right? This concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.